You a end of day wrap up on the FTSE 100 and European markets. Okay, interesting day. Interesting day certainly to start the week off. Let's go over fundamentals first, and then I'll cover the technical side of the equation. Okay, so basically overnight we obviously had the Shanghai and the Hang Seng higher by 64 points, the Shanghai higher by 25 points, and the Nikkei higher by 30 points, or almost 30 points. So basically what we interpret from that is the fact that the market obviously has taken the Chinese rate cut positively. Also we had some data deluge overnight as well from Japan and from obviously China, and the PMI actually came out slightly stronger than the weekend version, okay, on Sunday. So that certainly came out. I think it was a HSBC PMI. Let me just double check, bring up the data calendar for you. 1 second. There we go. Right, there we go. So I think that's it. Yeah, I think that there it is. Let's just have a look here. Oh, 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. My little daughter is calling me. So bear with me. Okay, let's just have a look at this. Here, bear with me 1 second, folks. Apologies. Okay, so my little daughter wanted to come inside. Okay, so basically we have the economic data. Here we go. Sorry, here we go. Okay, so let me just bring this up for you. Economic data. Okay, so overnight we had the Chinese HSBC manufacturing PMI data coming better than expected, and obviously the Chinese rate cut news as well. So that obviously sent the actual Asia markets higher overnight. After that, in terms of economic data, we had European data overall that was better than expected because the inflation data came out better than expected and the employment data came out better than expected. Although some of the PMI data was certainly worrying. I mean, Italy and Spain did well, rising faster than expected. Germany stalled somewhat, came in line, potential stalling, and the UK data came out stronger than expected. Now France obviously was lagging, so there was a cause for concern there. Obviously, with regards to the US markets, the economic data that has come out, I mean, I can certainly do a US video, but just give you an insight at present. Overall, the data itself has been negative. I mean, you can just look at the actual data here. I mean, core personal expenditure. You can look at personal income. Overall, personal spending weaker as well. So you had the market PMI actually did come out better than expected. So one aspect of it certainly came out stronger than expected, although construction negated that by minus 1.1%. Okay, and then obviously the ISM PMI came out afterwards, which obviously came out negative. Prices paid also negative. So overall, it's certainly not been very good, and the dollar itself should, in theory, go lower, and that's what I'm expecting. Although I have been stopped out on my Euro USD long trade, given the fact that Euro data was stronger and US data was weaker. That certainly hasn't played out from a fundamental perspective or from a technical perspective either, because we had the inverted head and shoulders formation on the 60-minute chart, which I was expecting to play out. As you can see here, the right shoulder, I mean, we're currently breaking or breaching below 75%. I'd bought it around the 50%, expecting a potential move higher. Sorry, around the 38%, expecting a potential move higher, and a thrust higher to here. Obviously that's failed, so back to square one and stopped out for minus 30 points there. Okay, so let's have a look at the technical picture then. Now just to confirm, with regards to the wrap up, the FTSE itself closed minus 6 points, the Euro stocks minus 7 points, the CAC minus 34, the DAX actually finished positive or more or less flat, the Swiss 41 points higher, and the IBEX flat, and the Athens market actually finished negative, although there is some talk with regards to its third bailout and it has rejected that proposal. The MICEX, even though the geopolitical concerns with regards to the opposition leader being shot, Mr. Putin has stated that he is going to open up an investigation there. Okay, so now with regards to the technicals, the FTSE 100, the FTSE All share certainly seems to have stalled. The FTSE volatility index certainly is holding that support level which I explained. I did get stopped out on my short trade at 6975, and I have subsequently switched my bias and gone long, given the fact that the interpretation of Chinese data obviously is bullish. Given the fact that we went past 6960 and obviously hit a high of 69667, I then switched my bias to long, and I maintain that bias for now, given the fact that Asian markets obviously are being interpreted as being bullish. So the FTSE 350 at the moment still higher highs and higher lows. FTSE 250 higher highs, higher lows. The volatility index certainly has, I mean, it's a bounce, but a very weak bounce, and there's a very high probability given the Chinese rate cut. Asian markets higher. The Nasdaq itself has actually just made a new high and gone surpassed. I mean, you've got the Nasdaq composite has gone past the 5,000 level, and obviously the Nasdaq itself has certainly pushed higher as well. And the biotechs obviously on the verge of moving higher. Semicons blasting higher, and the Nasdaq itself, as you can see, pushed higher as high as 4478. Okay, so very, very impressive move there. Okay, so with regards to the FTSE 100, let's just bring up the chart for you and just delve into that. Okay, the daily chart still is a bull flag from my perspective now. That rising contracting wedge is certainly out of the equation, given the fact that European indices are higher and US markets have negated that H&S formation. The 60-minute chart itself was higher. As you can see, we broke out the previous high at 6960. We have fallen back, and there is certainly a probability, or very high probability, that we could make a H&S formation again on the 60-minute chart, given the fact that that's your left shoulder, that's your head, and then we're bouncing off this neckline now, looking to hit the 6960, and we'll see exactly what happens there. So I'll certainly remain open to that for now. But given the fact that Chinese rate cut news came out overnight, given the fact that the economic data in the US has been negated and the Nasdaq has made a new high, I maintain my bullish bias for now. Okay, folks, so risk on, risk off, wax on, wax off. My little kid is complaining he wants his daddy, so I must dash. Goodbye now.